You see this because the person you're dating has their life is not in order. It's just that simple. And if you observe that their parents never gave them order, I can promise you, you might think that demanding them to become more orderly might push them away. What it'll do is that they'll feel like they finally found the parents they were looking for. They'll feel like they finally found someone who could help them, right? But again, you have to pay attention. Are they willing to take criticism? That's very important. If they can't take criticism, the strategy might not work. So that's why you have to really pay attention to the person and not just apply these strategies all willy-nilly. The next one is the impotent child, right? This is the next regression. And now this works if you're dating someone who's older. Like, for example, Samantha Priestley in Sex and the City was dating the super hot guy, right? What the fuck do you mean super hot guy? Sorry. You know what I'm talking about. He was good looking, man. Come on, shut the fuck up, all right? Or you're the girl and you're dating the older guy. This regression is pretty much where you play the impotent child. The child that's wild, the child that needs to be controlled, the child that misbehaves, but also the child that has, and I know that sounds freaking creepy, people, I did not make people, but it has sexual charge to it because, you want to bang them, right? they're an adult, right? But they're acting like a child. So it's almost like a mental fantasy superimposed on a physical one, right? And it's creepy, but, let's not, kink shame, because if we're going to be kink shaming, I want to see your kinks and write them down so I can shame your ass. Because anything that you like that's sexual related has some creepy fucking background to it. You know what I'm saying? If you ever want to apply these strategies with someone that you're dating, you could just work with me one-on-one or scan the QR code where it says work with me. I could give you guys more specific strategies on how to apply these strategies to your situation, because I understand it sounds kind of abstract. So working with me one-on-one could give you guys a quicker roadmap on how to conceptualize and apply these strategies into your life. So if you're going through something, you want to make somebody fall in love with you, or you need some support in terms of like how to do this, how to get them to like you, or even you have some life goals and you want some guidance in that, I could definitely work with you guys one-on-one. So just scan the QR code or click on the description down below where it says work with me one-on-one, or else so yeah, the impotent child. Assume the role of the child, but with sexuality. And an example of that was Marilyn Monroe. She did that with the men, where she hyper sexualized herself by being a child. Ariana Grande does this, right? And even what's his name? Pete Davidson with Kim Kardashian. He was the impotent child. He played the role of the child, but that's sexually charged. And this works when people are older. It works a lot. Right? Now, we could talk about the next strategy, which is borrowing from the future. Okay? Borrowing from the future is we're using future projections. So this is pretty much, this one is about planning vacations, right? When you start planning things with the person and doing things and make sure that the place that you're going to, you're more comfortable than they are. And we're talking about how to make them want you more. Okay, so this makes them want you more, right? And the reason why is because, one, the planning of the vacation is very important. The planning of it, the process of planning it, of coming up of different destinations to go to, get them to plan it, get them to look for more details. That act gets them to fantasize and think of you more, and it makes them long that vacation with you, right? So it's important that you make sure that they plan it. Not plan it, but make sure that you pick the destination and make sure that they're involved in the planning process, right? And the reason why is because you want to isolate them from their friends and family. Right? And not to be evil, you know what I'm saying, but their friends and family always brings them back some rationality, right? It is them who tells them that you're not good for them. Why? Because the process of falling in love is not rational, right? If we were really being honest, most of the time we wouldn't fall in love. But your friends and family have a rational ear. They see things that you don't see, right? They see me, for example, from a different point of view. And so because of that, they're the ones that are immune to your charm, right? They bring back a voice of reason, right? So the more they're away from them, the more in love they'll get with you. It's just that simple, right? Now, we're not talking about freaking going cartel mode on them and isolating them. No, we're just, hey bitch, Wanna go on vacation? Okay, I'll go on vacation. You go on vacation with her, you know. She's like, hey, my mom is calling me. Hey, tell mom we're gonna talk later. We're on vacation right now, okay? Like but she says she's dying. Put the phone down, okay? Put the phone down, goddammit. I don't give a fuck if Granny. My granny's fell from the stairs. Well, Granny, tell Granny to wait. All right. And so they're just being somewhere different, alone, different environment, different people, different food, getting them to try new foods, getting them to try new places. As the more different it is, Jesus Christ, it's like taking a Chinese person to Africa. Like, make that shit, the contrast, even more different, so that then they can lean on you for comfort. The more different, the more isolated, the more exotic it is, the more they'll lean on you, right? And that will create and increase the attraction, right? I mean, it is evil technically, but I mean, this is pretty much what happens when couples go on vacation. This is pretty much what happens when couples start having kids, and now they're so busy they can't talk to their family members as much, right? It's a natural process of divorcing yourself from your family to be with the person that you're with. It's natural, right? I'm just making it seem more evil than it really is. Now the next one is the uncertain future. All right, you're dating them, you're going out with them, and usually the thought of the future, you think of them and you think of it as a consistent future, right? When you think of them, you think of being with them, and it sounds like a consistent future, right? They're there, and so it brings comfort. But one of the things that I noticed is that I was once dating a girl, and she said how she was gonna go to medical school. And she was gonna go to medical school to the Bahamas, and we were dating. I was like, "Bitch, I'm not in the Bahamas. I can't go there, right?" And so every time she brought that up, it made me sad, and it kind of like, it just made me want her more. Like, and it kind of makes sense, right? Now this is the evil part, right? You don't do it as people, but if you're going on vacation, right, for example, or whatever, make sure to emphasize that you're leaving, right? Make sure to emphasize that you're leaving, like. Remind them of that shit, because people forget, right? If let's just say you're somewhere for 2 years, right? Yeah, people will literally date you and forget that you're gonna leave in 2 years until the time comes. Remind them every fucking week. You know, in 2 years from now I'm leaving. Next month, of 2 years from now I'm leaving. Like, I know it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but talking about the future where they're not there creates a sense of desperation, a sense of wanting to grasp onto you more, a sense of desire more. So just make sure to remind people that if you're there temporarily, make sure to remind people that you're gonna leave one day, right? Like, literally. It'll make them grab onto you a little bit more, and where it's like what death does to you, right? Whenever you encounter death, before you die, your senses become more intensified. Why? But it's almost like your senses know it's the last time it's gonna feel this world, so it grasps onto whatever it's there a little bit more. So it processes information with more intensity and with more higher definition. Like the information is crisper before dying. This is type of kind of like that, like a metaphor of death, right? Where they know you're not gonna be there one day, so because of that, they sort of, when they look at you with more intensity. When they think of you, they think of you with more intensity. So this strategy works really well. And the last one, just creating tension. Like, all you people out there, a bunch of nice people, like y'all, like I said yesterday in my video, your niceness draws people in, but it loses its effect once they're there, right? Like, niceness draws people. Niceness allows people to forget the bullshit, the negative moments. But it is the negative moments that creates tension. It is the negative moments that creates the electricity. There needs to be tension, right? And it is created by creating a sense of anxiety and suspense. So how do you do that? Conflict. Like, life is conflict. An example of that: we need to talk. The fuck you mean we need to talk? Let's talk tomorrow. Now from today to tomorrow, there's some tension. This happens all the time. Like, if you're in a relationship with someone, you're gonna need to talk to them, and you're not gonna want to do it over text, and you want to have this face-to-face conversation. In that moment, there's tension. Right? Something bad is happening. You don't like the way things are working. You sit down with them and you talk about it. Tension. In other words, conflict resolution, people. Like, if you know how to do conflict resolution and communicate directly, that's enough tension to make them want you more. because the tension, it could potentially mean that they could lose you, right? And so this is why tension is something that you don't have to do anything bad or manipulative. All you gotta do is exist, have standards, and be willing to call out and be willing to have uncomfortable conversations. And that tension will make them want you more. You know, it always works. Like it's because this is how you grow together, right? You guys find something negative, you work on it, but you're also willing to take criticism. And so if they're willing to work on it and listen to you, and you're willing to do the same, you guys grow together. The more conflict you guys go through, the more emotional connections you build. It's almost like it's like an army that goes through war together, right? The more battles they win, the more cohesion, the greater the group myth, the greater the soldier morale, and the more they'll be willing to fight for each other. But also neurologically is that each time you guys get through conflict, there's more oxytocin, and it creates more of an emotional connection when you reconciliate from the conflict. It's really important, people. Like it's honestly the most important part. Honestly, if you don't know how to have conflict resolution, you are a walking red flag, and you know you're a walking red flag. All right. All right, if you guys enjoy these videos about stoicism, dating, relationships, self-help, moving up in life, I would recommend you guys check out some of my courses that I have for sale. These courses are courses for men and women. For example, Nice Girl, Nice Guy is a course about how to become more assertive. Natural Chemistry is a course for women that I have on how to develop strong relationships. Dark Game is a controversial course that I have for guys on how to attract women in their life and keep it. It's not as dark as it seems, but we do talk about some dark psychology in here. Psychological Game of Attraction is a course that we made for women who are single. And as you see, we have a course about how to develop charisma, emotional mastery, which is a course about how to develop a meditation practice and how to improve your emotional life, to become more resilient, to not let rejection hit you so hard, to be able to bounce back from failure. I have a course called Nice Guy, which is a course for guys who are single and guys who want to be able to develop more assertiveness training, right? Most of these courses come at $99. And there you can also purchase the bundle where you guys can purchase all of the courses in one go at a discounted rate, right? We have a bundle for women and a bundle for men. So click in the description down below to check them out. You can browse around and see the courses that you like. And if you don't like them, you guys can ask for a 30-day money back guarantee, and I'll give you guys the money back, okay? And in fact, we actually have a new one for women right now we're developing. It's called The Feminine Woman. So if you're a woman watching, this course is specifically to help women become more feminine, to embrace their feminine while embracing their masculine energy. And I'm actually going to make a course for that, like that for men, which is called the Masculine Man, which is a course on how to develop masculinity and develop masculine energy, to attract women in your life, to attract business success in your life, to be able to be better socializing, to read people better. It's truly an all-around course. So if you guys want to check out those courses, click on the description down below where it says purchase the courses, and I'll see you guys inside. Bye-bye.